Oh, Mo, you're not playing good today. I always find the moment.
When Ali loses it, oh yeah.
Ali will say, calm down, calm down.
When you change your mind in a Champions League final, you were fuming today in training.
Yeah, really annoyed, yeah.
They might as well just give them the damn trophies right now. Liverpool have been playing the kind of football champions play this season, finding ways to win games, and against quality opponents too. The tactics are great, the players look sharp, and it's bringing results too. Some LFC fans are already calling them second half FC, as they seem to just blow teams away in the second half after sussing them out in the first 45 minutes. Slot is already showing he's a master of changing games during them. They're top of the Premier League and top of the Champions League. They're not slowing down anytime soon. And if they keep up the current performance rate, they could become champions of both competitions at the end of the season. So the big question is, how have Liverpool become so good so quickly? To be honest, they weren't that far away last season and just fell away during the last couple of months. To be fair, that was a season of transition, with a brand new midfield still getting to know one another. They could have had even more points last season if it wasn't for dodgy VARs not doing their jobs properly. They failed to award a blatant penalty against Arsenal when Odegaard started playing basketball in the penalty area at Anfield. And then they crossed off Luis Diaz's amazing finish at Tottenham. Again, VARs ruled out a total legitimate goal. These are just a couple of examples of Liverpool being robbed by the refs. But let's get back to this season. Yeah, baby. Something special is happening at Liverpool, and it's all down to the atmosphere this man has created at the club. Arne Slot has made the transition look seamless now, and it gets even better watching his Liverpool team play. The game versus Aston Villa was another successful tick on what has been a very impressive season so far, the only blip being that 1-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest. Other than that, the Reds have been very impressive.
Yeah, it has been an absolutely extraordinary start to life as the new Liverpool manager for Arne Slot. So, I mean, it's been seamless so far. We wondered how he'd fill those boots left by the huge personality of Jurgen Klopp. I mean, he's become the first manager to win as many as 11 of his first 12 games in charge across all competitions.
Nope, you don't get there by accident. A key thing about Slot's team this season has been their ability to get results in games so far. Against Chelsea, the game swung both ways. Chelsea dominated possession with 57.5% of the ball, and had more attempts as well. But Liverpool's efficiency helped them seal the win. Curtis Jones's goal here won it. As I said, they've shown they can get results despite the circumstances. Just 1 week later, the Reds were in North London to take on the team that just missed out on the league title that year. It looked like Arsenal would be able to hang on and give Arne Slot a second defeat in the league. But Salah's goal within 7 minutes left to play gained a point away from home. Hang on. Just in case you haven't subscribed to Matchday 365 yet and still want more Liverpool related content like this, just hit that button down below. That's been Liverpool this season, a very efficient machine, and it's form like this that helps win championships and titles. So what is it about Slot that's different and making his players suddenly tick? Well, for one, it's like they enjoy playing under him. As Van Dijk said in the interview here, with Arne Slot, he's very thorough because that's the type of guy he is. Slot's ideas with that of former boss Jurgen Klopp aren't that different.
But I think one of the main things why, if they buy in, which is I believe they do, but why they do is that the differences are not that big. So there are only small differences between Jurgen and me, and the general idea of how we want to play football is, I think, quite similar.
But you see, guys, it's the little differences that have made the major impacts this season. Watching Liverpool play, using games against the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United and Ipswich, for example, Liverpool has been able to adapt to the opposition as they've come. In the game versus Ipswich Town on the opening day, it was controlled dominance. The Reds took charge of the game for large spells, but it wasn't until the second half that goals from Jota and Salah sealed a 2-0 win. Against Manchester United, for example, United edged the possession stats with 53% to Liverpool's 47%, but it's almost as if that was the game plan from Slot. to let him have those little bits of possession with the ball because Slot had already done his homework on the team he was coming up against. And in the end, what happened next was a Liverpool team that caught United with quick transitions on the break, robbed them of possession and scored 3 goals to seal a dominant 3-0 win. Against Chelsea, as we touched on earlier, it was a different ballgame. Chelsea managed to do what no one had done up to that point this season, and that was outmuscle Liverpool's midfield trio. In the end, it made a proper game. Ultimately, Liverpool had the edge in terms of quality in front of goal, and came away with all 3 points. We saw something similar against Arsenal. Slot's team showed they can be resilient to fight back from losing positions. They came back twice to draw 2-2 at the Emirates. For context, they ended up losing from the same position 3-1 last year. It's not just about playing beautiful football. In the end, if you judge based on results, and so far, Slot's men have delivered. It's also down to the personnel he's got, and in this area, Slot is making the most out of what Jurgen Klopp left him. This Liverpool team looks scary under Slot, but what's interesting about this is that it's the same team under Jurgen Klopp that choked on the league last season. So, what's changed? Well, Trent Alexander-Arnold gave a proper insight into this.
Lots of Liverpool players saying nice things about Arne Slot of late. This is what Alexander-Arnold had to say. I said to Slot that I would like to be the defender that no one wants to come up against in Europe. We agreed.
That's who Arne Slot is. He's focused on the players and tries to show them areas of the game where they can improve, while at the same time showing them areas where they perform more than okay. In terms of player development, they've been rapid under Slot. If the current season were to end right now, Ryan Gravenberch would be in contention not just for the Liverpool Player of the Season award, but the Premier League Player of the Season award as well. Heck, he could even make the Ballon d'Or top 30 with the way he's been playing. Now, it's interesting looking at Gravenberch because that'll mean dealing with a guy who under Klopp, doubts about his future was still very strong. He even had Klopp eating into him from the sideline once. So how has Slot managed to get this version of Gravenberch playing and turned into a beast now? It's the role he's given.
Liverpool in, and it's a lovely
If you made it to this point of the video, then it means you've hit that subscribe button to the channel by now. And if you haven't, it's once again staring you in the face. Apart from being from the same country, Slot also has an excellent eye for talent. At his final days with the likes of Orkun Korku, he's identified Gravenberch as the perfect player at the base to play in his system. His highlights show it. Gravenberch has now become the guy who not only has the defensive abilities to win the ball and get stuck in tackles for the team, but can also advance with progressive carries for the team as well. When they missed out on Martin Zubimendi this season, or a holding midfielder in general, it looked like it was going to be a continuation of what we'd seen under Klopp. But Slot made the best out of the situation by elevating Gravenberch's game. It's not just Gravenberch, even him too. The hat-trick versus Leverkusen was a major standout for Luis Diaz this season, a player reborn under Klopp, just like we've seen with the likes of Salah, Van Dijk and even Trent Alexander-Arnold. Slot is taking players who were already world-class under Klopp, bar Gravenberch, and making them better. So how does this translate to championship and title-winning form? They're taking each game as it comes, and with this approach, Liverpool looks unstoppable. They play more like a unit now. Even Salah can testify. They're working even harder too. The pressing is coordinated. They look compact and do not give much away. They're the best defensive team in the league this season, and it says a lot. This season, the Reds made a return back to Europe's Premier Club competition, the Champions League, and they've been flying. We're halfway through, with each team having played 4 match days. And so far, Liverpool is the only team with a 100% record in the competition. Saying this is a statement in itself means a lot. In the Champions League, Liverpool has been sweeping the praises in the competition. Of the 4 games they've played this season, they've only conceded once. When you consider they've played the likes of Milan, Bayern Leverkusen and RB Leipzig, it gets even more impressive. After the win against Bologna on matchday 2, Slot became the first Liverpool manager to win 8 of his opening 9 matches in the Champions League. The record extended with victories over Leipzig and Leverkusen, and now they sit top of the Champions League table as a result. Top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, Arne Slot has been able to achieve this by showing how his team has built a strong foundation at the back. I mean, conceding just 6 league goals in 11 games is impressive. And when you realise Arsenal has 2 of those, as do Chelsea, Nottingham Forest and Wolves, it means they've had clean sheets in 7 games this season. Arne Slot has also managed to keep his players focused and blocked out any distractions at the club. With all the talk about contracts this season, players like captain Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah all having expired deals this summer, Arne Slot has had to deal with numerous questions regarding the future of his players. But he's made sure the focus remains on how they perform on the pitch. As should be, rather than getting involved in contract talks, Slot keeps maintaining that his job is to get the best out of his players, and ultimately, that's what he's done. The form of the other contenders has also played a big part in Liverpool's chances of winning both competitions this season. It's been an uncharacteristic display from Manchester City. Back-to-back Premier League defeats. They've lost 4 games in a row, for the first time in Pep's managerial career. In second place, they're now 5 points off Slot's team. Where City has failed to perform this season, Liverpool has taken the advantage and gone clear. To open up a 5-point gap over City at any stage of the competition is in itself impressive. And in the Champions League, it's been in a similar pattern. The heavyweights, the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Manchester City and PSG. All of these teams have dropped points surprisingly as well. Real Madrid has already lost twice to Lille and AC Milan in the competition. Barcelona has lost to Monaco, City has dropped points to Inter Milan and Sporting, and PSG has already lost to Atletico Madrid and Arsenal. With the way the competition has been going so far, it's Liverpool's to lose. It will be delusional to crown Liverpool champions of both the Premier League and the Champions League based on this early season form alone. I mean, there's still a long way to go before the end of the season, and a lot of games to be played, points to be won as well. Arne Slot on his point has made it clear that he wants to be more than a guy who just breaks records. He wants to try and convert his early season form into a sustainable run come the end of the season. It will take a lot from him and his team, particularly with the number of proper teams that exist in both competitions. But you wouldn't put it past them at this point. Liverpool are flying. What do you think? Is it too early to see Liverpool as title contenders? All of this is just a blip that will fade soon. Let us know in the comments down below. And while you're at it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to Matchday 365 for more. And I'll see you in the next video.